بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear viewers and listeners, we are going through understanding of Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, and this is second ruku. Now, what is a ruku? As I have explained earlier, ruku are like paragraphs in a surah. So, ruku belong to a surah. And at the end of the ruku in Arabic, it's re, kaf, waw, ain. There is an ain. So, that's why you'll find on the hashia or on the margin outside the page, they will be written on the right or left side, ain. So, when you find that ain, that means that's a more or less one subject completed in that paragraph. So, that's like a paragraph. And the new paragraph does not start on the new line, but it starts soon after it. So, the ain is in a circle, above a circle in the middle of that line. So, there will be a line, there will be an ayat or a circle. So, the circle is the sign of end of one sentence of Qur'an, and it's numbered according to the that ayat, and the number is at the end of the ayat. So, means alif lam mim zalikal kitabu la rayba fihi hudal lil muttaqin, then you will find circle and there will be one written in it. So, same way it goes on, and when it comes the end of a paragraph, then an ain is written on that round circle, and on the side, on the margin, there is a big ain written like opposite of E in English, and there are some numbers on it. Now, that is important, because if there is a number on top of that ain, that means this ruku or this paragraph is such paragraph. So, if it is 1, that means first paragraph of the surah of this chapter. If it is 2, it means second paragraph of this chapter. And if the number which is below that ain, below, that would mean the number of the sipara of the juz or on the volume. So, Quran is divided into equal volumes of 30, equal, more or less equal size, and those are siparas, called siparas or al juz, and they have also rukus. Those rukus belong to actually the surah or chapter, but the number of ruku in the sipara is also numbered at the bottom of that ain. And then you will find some numbers in the middle of that ain. Those numbers are numbers of ayat in that ruku. So, you can exactly count all the ayats of Quran by counting the numbers in the middle of that ain. That number, say if there is 15 written, that 15 means 15 ayats, 15 sentences in this paragraph. So, you add up with the next paragraph, so you can get all the number of ayats in the Quran, number of rukus in the Quran, which are over 400 rukus in the Quran, and over 6,000 ayats in Quran. So, everything has been very much calculated and has been registered, everything. So, this is ayat number 9, which we are reciting. يُخَادِعُونَ اللَّهَ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَمَا يَخْدَعُونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُمْ وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ. These people who are hypocrites, they have proclaimed to be on the straight path, but they are not on the straight path, and the knowledge is with Allah. They are trying to cheat Allah and cheat the believers, but they don't realize. They realize that they are doing something good. They are diplomatic. They are very practical, pragmatic, but they are not pragmatic. They are not. They are trying to be compromising, but they are compromising what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Fi qulubihim maradun." In their heart there is a marad. There is a disease. What disease? That disease of hypocrisy. They cannot accept the truth. If they accept the truth, they cannot act upon it. So, they are a willy-nilly people. They are neither here nor there. And these munafiqeen is mentioned, like hypocrites are mentioned, innal munafiqeen fi darkil asfali minan nar, that in the hell, the lowest part or the worst part of the hell will be for munafiqeen, for the hypocrites. They are not open kafir, they are not open disbeliever, they have no courage to do that, they cannot stand the pressure of the society. They should have been truthful and said, well, we don't believe. Simple. So, the Muslims should know they are not believers, and Islamic injunctions don't apply upon them. So, they would not be taken as Muslims. But they didn't do that. They said, no, 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 we are Muslim, we are with you. And then in the heart, they don't want Islam. So they are the fifth columnist. They are spies working against the interests of Muslims. And this is the worst kind of thing which one can do. And fi qulubi maradun fazadahumullahu marada, because they have created this disease in their heart, so Allah increased the disease. Why should Allah increase the disease? Why doesn't it decrease? The thing is, a person does not be faithful and truthful with Allah, then Allah leaves him on his own, and that his disease without the help of Allah goes on increasing. So that's attributed to Allah. So it's like this. In the world, Allah created shaitan. Devil was created by Allah to test us. And Allah created good people. Allah created the prophets. So good and evil are created by Allah. But a person, when he does any evil, a person kills a person. So why does the court say that he should be sentenced to whatever the punishment? If everyone believes that there is a fate, it was written. It was written, but because this person chose it, and because there is an evil and good already there, why did this person choose this evil? He should not have chosen this. So he is being punished because he chose it, and indirectly is attributed to Allah, but directly this person killed it. So in the same way, if a person has a disease, then he is increased his disease by indirectly, because Allah also created everything. So that's attributed to Allah, but Allah will not decrease the disease of people if they don't want to decrease that disease. If they don't want to cure themselves, and this is mentioned in one ayat of Qur'an, Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Unless the people change themselves, Allah will not change the fate of a nation. So means Allah has given us free will. So that free will has to be exercised in order to stay on the right path. On the straight path, which we have asked in Surah Fatiha, which is a very logical beginning of Qur'an and very logical order of Qur'an. This order is, as I've said, it's not the order in which Qur'an came down. It came down in a different order, but it's written in different order for us for all time to come, because this gives us relevance to our life. So we ask the straight path, then Allah tells the straight path is path of those people who do this belief, do these actions, and those people who disbelieve, they are not on the straight path. And then those people who had to compromise the straight path, they are actually trapped on the way. They wanted to go on the straight path, but they could not go, because that straight path, or the Sirat Mustaqim, is littered with some difficulties. What are these? They are distractions of greed, lust, selfishness, fame, love of fame, power, and this is because of our own self. We want it because this is in our interest. We think by greed we will amass wealth and we will become rich, and so this is one obstacle in the straight path. The path is straight, no problem, but there are problems on the way, so you have to overcome these. So overcome your selfish desires, your ego. So that's the nafs. This is called the nafs. From your own ego and self, there are few diseases, few bad things which you have to cut out, and this is the purification of Islam, which is called at-tasawwuf, at-tazkiyah, al-ihsan, or many other names are there. Purification, that means to first of all focus on yourself, do this greatest jihad of uprooting your own bad inclinations. You have qualities which can be molded, which can be changed. Like anger is a quality. You need to be anger at the time when you need to be anger, but not at every place. So anger against a good thing is bad, and anger against a bad thing is good. So you have to use your instincts rightly. So yourself, your nafs comes first. Then is traps of sin, outward sin, crime. There's so much happening in the society, hatred, cheating, treachery, disbelief, all these traps and many others, they are laid by shaitan. So there is some outward element as well, which leads us away or distracts us from the right path. We want to go the straight way, but there are influences, and we cannot say these are all our instincts, our internal influences, our own ego and our self. No, there are some elements outside, and shaitan has laid down traps. So that's devil who whispers in your mind and heart and puts you into temptation. So these temptations of shaitan. So you have to resist them, control them. So the next are roadblocks on the way, which are of jobs and responsibilities. Many things slow you down. You want to go on the straight path, but there are so many things which you have to do in order to carry on your prayer. You have to look after your families. Of course, these are roadblocks, but they are, if you enable them or you get yourself disabled by these obstacles and you are disabled for the straight path, then you are doomed. So you have to carry on the straight path despite and in spite of these jobs and family responsibilities and friends and many other things. Then there are, of course, speed breakers of friends and family. Of course, they slow you down. Then roundabouts of confusion and disbelief. You come at different times when some different literature, different people impress you and they drag you away. So you are going round. Sometimes you are going round in that roundabout, going in circles. So you have to get out of it and go on the straight path. Then there are red lights of enemies and adversaries. Some people oppose you. So this is where the other jihad comes in. First jihad was with your own self, the struggle, the fight against your evil inside you. Now is the evil outside you. So you have to fight. You have to win your way back. Then accidents of failures and mistakes. You also falter. You also make mistakes, and then you think, oh, you are doomed. You have no hope. Yes, being hopeless is also kufr. Being despair is also being like kafir. You always keep hope with Allah. And this is a beautiful hadith which mentions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He sent humans on this earth, the angels asked a question, Ya Allah, you are sending Adam on this earth and Eve and Shaitan as well, and you have made something which will not make them live. What is that? Well, Allah knows that, but you have made death. You have made them to die. So how will they inhabit this earth? How will they live? How will they eat? How they will cultivate or make a living? Allah said, yes, I have made death. Surely that's something which will make their life sour. But I made something which will make them tick along, which will make them linger on and carry on their life on this earth. What is that, Ya Allah? I've made hope. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I've made hope. That hope will make humans carry on this earth. Now, if I know that I'm going to die next hour, would I be sitting here? No, no way. I'll be asking pardon from Allah. So Allah has kept my death away from my knowledge so that I don't care and don't be stopped by that, haunted by that, the angel of death, and don't make my this life miserable. I carry on my this life. Death will come when it will come. So, and there's no point in like going to any person and asking me, oh, when will I die? What is going to happen? Look, these people who are telling your fortune, why don't they make fortune themselves? Why do they earn money from you? Yes? So it's all a business. You see, they have some junctures and some guessworks, and when they fit, the people believe. If they don't fit, no one comes back and tell them, give me back my money. No, because so this is a business. This is cheating. That some people tell you you're that going to happen, and then you are trapped with them. And this is, I think, a worldwide disease that even the people who don't believe in religion, they don't believe in God, even the communist people, the non-believers, they believe in astrology. They believe in palmistry. They believe in this luck science and this stones of luck. And some, unfortunately, religious people, they also recommend these things. Oh, what is your lucky name? What is your lucky number? What is your lucky stone? Well, these things, lucky star, stars